What's up, Broncos country, and how you doing, Orange and Blue crew? Welcome to the Get Bucked Game Day Show. Today, your Denver Broncos take on a top 5 team in the Green Bay Packers with implications of clinching the playoffs here today. Can they do it? Can they put it another solid game together from beginning to finish on all 3 phases of play? There is so many questions to ask. There is so much to talk about. Why don't we just get to it? Welcome to the Get Bucked Game Day Show. Let's go, Broncos!
Together, let's shake the air. Get bucked. Here comes the thunder. Feel that quake in Broncos country. We're never afraid to take. The rivals gonna crumble in the spotlight's glare. Get bucked. All together, let's shake the air.
It's on the 15, it's on the 10, the 5, touchdown Denver!
What's up, guys? How you doing, Broncos country? And what's up, Orange and Blue crew? I'm Johnny Baki, the Mile High Viking, bringing to you today the Get Bucked Game Day Show, joined by my cousin, my childhood best friend, Jay, the Dream Weaver, and Bronco Rob. How you guys doing today? It's game day, baby.
Feeling fantastic, man. It's such a sweet day to have meaningful football, in December, in this type of weather. We all got winter hats on, we're in the thick. And again, I keep saying it, winter football is different, and I'm so glad to be here.
Hey, I'm glad to be here with you guys. Today is definitely a pivotal game for the Broncos. I'm a little more nervous for this game than I have been previous games, but you know what? The Broncos are 11-2. It's December football. We got meaningful games ahead, and you know what? I'm still a believer, so let's freaking go.
Dropping bow truths already.
And before we actually get into it, how was your week, guys?
It was good. Just another busy week, and I'm just ready for some football. I want to see Denver get this W against Green Bay, and we'll get into it in the show. And I'm believing, man. I'm believing, baby.
What about you, Jay? How was your week? Besides cold.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good week. A lot of hockey practices and basketball practices, and man, it's sports season is upon us. So it's got all 3 sports going at the same time. It's fantastic. It's the greatest time of the year.
It really is. It really is.
Very much so.
My week was an interesting one. Our regulars may notice I am not wearing my full Mile High Viking regalia. And the reason for that is, well, first of all, it takes a lot to get all that prepped and put on and all that. And right now, I found out just a few days ago, lost the use of my left leg, went to the ER, and they discovered multiple fractures in my spine. And so now I'm rolling around in a wheelchair and living that even more than I was before crippled life. And so, yeah. It's definitely been an interesting week. I'm on some really heavy-duty painkillers. It's the only way that right now I can even remotely be this excited. And I'm ready for some Broncos football. Let's have some, it's been a rough week for me, so I need some joy in my life. I need some Broncos football, baby. All right.
I'll give you a quick little update, Johnny. Buffalo just scored against the Patriots, and they're taking the lead. Come on, Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo. I've never rooted for Buffalo before on purpose.
There's a first time for everything.
Yeah, the Chiefs and the Chargers are tied 13 apiece in the third with a minute left in the third quarter. So interesting.
Chargers are going to screw it up. Watch.
Chargers are always going to Charger.
Charger, baby. So before we get going, welcome to the Get Buck Game Day Show here on the Orange and Blue Network. If this is your first time here or you haven't ever done so before, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Find us on YouTube. Make sure you give us the sub. Make sure that your profile is set to public so that we can see it, because we're about to do another spin for a jersey giveaway that you want to be a part of. Also, follow us on X and on Facebook. Check out the audio version of our podcast on all your favorite platforms. And of course, who keeps the lights on here? That would be Dubby, the sponsor of today's show. Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. You can find the link in the bio below. Make sure you check it out, because Dubby, I promise you, will become your mouth's favorite energy drink. Every cup of Dubby has 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine in it. Comes in a multitude of delicious flavors. Absolutely kicks you in the butt to get your day going. Keep your day going. But at the end, you don't get the jitters or the crash, because Dubby has no sugar. It also has no calories or maltodextrin or fillers or artificial colors. It is all natural, nothing but amino acids, B vitamins, nootropics, and caffeine, which is derived directly from the coffee fruit. It's as natural as it can be. It's delicious stuff. And I promise you, you're going to want to try this stuff. Make sure that you punch in code OBN10 at the checkout. OBN10 lets them know that the Orange and Blue Network sent you, and it gets you 10% off your order. So make sure you go check out Dubby. Boom. Here we go. Broncos football. It's game day, baby. We're back home where we still maintain the longest home win streak in the NFL. We have not lost a home game in 14 months.
That's crazy.
Damn, that feels good to hear.
Yeah.
Seriously. We have not lost a home game in 14 months. And the Green Bay Packers, a team who we have some interesting history with, are marching in, are doing very well for themselves this season, thinking that they're about to disrupt that home win streak. What say you? Are they going to accomplish said goal?
This is going to be a very, very tough game. Again, like when we talk about like preseason prediction on the schedule and looking at these games on paper, I'm pretty sure as a network we had this for a loss. I know I personally had this as a loss because I know that Green Bay was going to be well-rounded, and this was before Micah Parsons showed up. And Micah Parsons has not disappointed for them. Like, they have a phenomenal defense from a pass rush standpoint. Rashad Gary, I believe, as well, is just an absolute beast. Like, they have a lot of really good pieces to this team. So this is going to be a formidable opponent as far as, a strength of a game for us that we've had in quite some time. Packers could absolutely come out of the NFC. This could be a Super Bowl preview, like, truly. That's what type of tiered game this is. Rob, what's
we all know what happened the last time the Broncos took on the Packers in the Super Bowl. So,
well, that's true. We got some helicopters. We got a lot of memorable moments out of that. Obviously.
Now, real quick update on a pitch from the opposite 30-yard line. Travion Henderson just marched all the way down the field for another New England touchdown.
Hell yeah. I have him in fantasy playoffs right now, so let's go. We
need them to lose. We need them to lose right now, Jay. Stop it.
Yeah, fantasy man, there's money on the line.
Yeah.
No. Number one seat is on the line, and I need you, and your money takes a back seat to that, okay? No, but
no, anyway, I agree with Jay. I think it's going to be a very tough game today. However, looking through orange-colored glasses, I still think Denver's going to pull out the win today. I think Denver's defense is better than Green Bay's defense, and I think that's going to make the difference as long as Denver's offense can put points up on the board and we can limit the penalties.
Sure. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Jay, to your point. Before the season started, we did our record prediction. And a lot of us had, including myself and you, we all said we were going to lose this today. That was before I predicted that before I saw what the Broncos have managed to pull off all season long. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
now I look at this game and I go, this could go either way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not as confident in my initial prediction that this would be a Broncos loss, or that this would just be too much for us, because we've taken on some of the best teams in the league. We've beaten all of last year's champions, and
This is true.
and I'm looking at it going, you know what? This could go either way. Now, I have all the faith in the world. The Broncos have proven clutch time comes, we got it. And so, again, just like you said, Rob, I still have all the faith in the world that we're going to get it done. It just may not be a gorgeous win.
Well, and today we got to beat two opponents. We got to beat the Green Bay Packers. We also got to beat Vegas, who puts us as a dog at home, which is the most disrespectful thing in the world to look at this game and our home win streak. The analytics to that aspect on top of, I mean, we've been a balling team, man. Like we're on fire right now. For us to be, I have it as a 1-point dog still, even as the line moves here. That doesn't sit well with me. Shouldn't with our team either.
No, it doesn't. And nor should it. Nor should it sit well with us. But then again, we always are the underdog. Always. They always overlook us. Unless we're playing like the Raiders, who are losing 31, who are about to lose 31-0 to the Philadelphia Eagles.
We are associated or synonymous with the fraud watch that I have seen nationally still, even at this point. So this is a showcase game to prove the haters wrong. Like, we're not frauds. We're not going anywhere. Like, we deserve home field advantage, and we should prosper. We
should. Dave Full Glassman coming in, giving us orange and blue hearts. Great hats popping in the house, saying, "Afternoon, fellas. Hope y'all doing well. Doing as good as I can, given my current
right."
But all right, so let's get into this game a little bit here. The Denver Broncos on are 11-2, 10-game win streak. Feels pretty damn good. Again, we already talked about it. We have the longest home win streak as well in the NFL. And you got the Packers getting ready to walk in. Jordan Love, he's been on fire. And what does this defense have to do? What does this defense have to do to shut down Jordan Love today? Rob, I'm going to ask you first.
Yeah, I mean, Denver needs to apply pressure and force turnovers, and they have to be able to win the turnover battle today. If there's a pass that's errant from Jordan Love and our defense has the opportunity or the chance to get their hands on it, then they need to catch that damn ball and come down with it. If there's a fumble, Denver needs to get on top of it. That is going to be one of the keys to the game today, is winning the turnover battle, in my opinion.
Sure.
What about you, Jay?
Go ahead, Jay.
I thought we were going to get lucky, and Josh Jacobs, our absolute kryptonite, whom is undefeated against us. I thought he was not going to play, but it looks like he is going to be a full go. So I expect Matt LaFleur to run the ball a lot. He's a Shanahan disciple. We know this offense obviously better than anyone. We know, what they're going to bring to the table as far as, a disadvantage to our defense. I feel like they're going to run it, and then they will take their big bomb, opportunity on the play action. So it's going to be one of those things where we cannot have the ill-advised, Riley Moss play where he's nails for 95% of the game. Like, we all don't have complaints, but then there's that 5% where, like, oh my God, dude. And I don't want to have a lot of those instances happening. Christian Watson is a phenomenal wide receiver. He's back fully healthy for them. Matthew Golden is a baller who can absolutely just fly. So they've got weapons. Granted, Kraft is out. That's a big injury for them. I would be way more scared if he was still playing with our history of, against tight ends. But I mean, I think Luke Musgrave is their starting tight end now. That doesn't really scare me. He's more of an inline.
Come on, man.
It's a Josh Jacobs game to me.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it is. So our run defense is going to have to be stout.
Yeah.
We can't keep letting them get chunk yardage in the run. I'm going to say that keys to the game, Broncos on the Broncos side offensively is exactly what we did against the Raiders last week. We've got to control that clock. We did it. We managed to rip off. They have, in terms of their defensive, their run defense. The Packers they're top 10 in the NFL, but they do give up some large yardage on runs sometimes. So RJ Harvey's been coming into his own. It'll be absolutely imperative that we run the ball. One, control the clock and use it to set up play action so Bo can rip off some passes. That is absolutely key. We did it against the Raiders last week and everybody complained about it because it wasn't pretty, it was game management. But there were people criticizing Bo for being a game manager. And I'm like, hello, game managers win games.
He was so efficient last week.
So, I mean, if we did it against the Raiders, this is a much better team than we faced last week, but it's the same. But the recipe for success to me remains the same. Control the clock. To Bronco Rob's point, you have to obviously win the turnover battle. And that's how we win this game. Efficiency. And of course, another special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown wouldn't help either, or couldn't hurt either, is what I meant.
Yeah, I will also want to bring up another storyline, just real quick, just to hit it, just to say we did. Speaking of special teams, our main man Brandon McManus returns to Denver. Super Bowl 50 champion. The dude is, colorful to say the least. So there's been some highs and some lows, I feel like, in the Brandon McManus saga in Denver. Kind of similar to, the arc of Matt Prater here. Some players like that, like we love, and then we don't. And then let's kind of see what the vibe will be coming back. Will he get booed or will he get cheered? I'm interested in watching that as well. So I hope. I
think there'll be a bit of a mix.
I think so too.
Hey, I love Brandon McManus when he was with Denver, but right now he's on the enemy sideline, so right now he could suck it too.
Yep. Suck a fat one, Brandon.
Hey, that's feel your feelings, Rob. Feel your feelings.
I was gonna say we'll have plenty of time for that, Rob.
Our resident hype man, Shai Vargas, in the house comes in saying, "Let's go, Broncos!" Yes, sir. We're gonna get a good hype video from Shai before we get out today, before the game. It's gonna be a good time. So, all right, Rob, I need from you. I need two keys. I need two keys to the game, just specifically. Like, I know you talked about defensively and all that. Two keys to this game, specifically. Maybe one offense, one defense that you haven't already mentioned.
Well, one offensive key to the game is, like Jay was saying earlier, Bo needs to be efficient and he needs to play like he did last week. He needs to be comfortable. He needs to trust his guys, getting the ball. And, he needs to, if the pocket breaks down, he needs to take off with it and trust his legs.
Absolutely.
Bo made a lot of great decision making and, last game. And put us in positions to score points. And, one of those points was him taking it up the middle, and he needs to play the same way this week. Sean needs to let the leash go and let Bo go out there and be Bo. I know I've said that multiple times, before, but I'm going to keep saying it until it's a it's a given every single game. That's probably my biggest key offensively. Defensively, because of the weapons that Green Bay has, we've already mentioned them, Golden, Christian Watson, they have a lot of offensive weapons. And so our defense needs to play to the level and the caliber that we know that they're capable of playing. And that's going to be to keep those wide receivers in check. And, again, Riley Moss needs to have an awesome game and not commit penalties. So I think, Pat Surtain is going to, definitely lock down one of those receivers, and Riley Moss needs to, pick up the slack and play clean football today.
All right. Jay, offensive key and defensive key.
So I was just checking injury report because I've seen varying reports for warm-ups of that McGlinchey could play. He's been listed as questionable. That was kind of a scary thing, again, going against Micah Parsons. When I'm looking on the offensive side, Micah Parsons is a game wrecker. So, he could single-handedly change the bow trajectory today. So it looks like McGlinchey is still questionable. There's nothing official, but that's my
It'll be a game time
matchup.
decision.
That's my matchup is who in the heck is playing right tackle against Micah Parsons' side. We released Mercedes Lewis. So we don't have another body of a inline tight end to help chip and to help run block. And so, the gashing of injuries that we have on the offensive line could rear its ugly head on the offensive side today.
Well,
I know Ben Powers is coming back, but
Nate Atkins is back, isn't he?
I think so.
Because I don't see him.
The last I heard,
injury.
He's still dashed, so not sure quite yet. Same with DJ Jones, but I think DJ Jones is a go. I think he's good to go.
He should be. He practiced this week. He should be. And and the one thing we can't have faith in, we've seen what Palczewski is capable of at right tackle when McGlinchey's out.
Yeah.
He has played some very meaningful football at that position for us, and he did very well. So, I'm not saying that, I would rather have
still out, though.
Yeah.
Powers
that's
is still
true.
out. So,
but he's been out, and we've still been, and Bo Nix still has the most time in the NFL to pass than any other quarterback.
We'll see if, the added offensive lineman, Frank Crum, who has been pretty dang, awesome, though that was a big point we talked about last game was, the big packages of Mercedes Lewis and Frank Crum coming in. If Crum gets the nod and has to play right tackle, it'll just be really interesting to see the different things we do to try and help, alleviate pressure on that side of the line. So that's my big, focus point for the offense. But on defense, big thing for the defense, honestly, is line of scrimmage and just making sure that Singleton and Greenlaw have vision enough to be able to, run the gauntlet of run protection. Because our defense is going to be tested in the running game today. Like I said, Josh Jacobs, they have a really good offensive line. Again, they do the zone blocking scheme. We know what Shanahan running style offenses present. And it's a lot of back and forth and a one cut wonder. And I don't know, there's just a lot of things that can go wrong when you play that type of offense.
It's true.
It'll be interesting to see Vance Joseph's adjustment to that. So,
and there will have to be. I know that.
Yeah.
Vance Joseph will have to make in-game adjustments. It will not be a, Matt LaFleur. You can't just play one-sided against him. He will adjust. You'll have to, and you will have to, rise to meet the road, so to speak. So yeah, that is going to be a key to the game for me, is avoid hubris from our coaching staff, especially. Quit sitting, don't sit there at all this game going, I know it's going to work. It's not working now, but it's going to eventually. Stop it. If you're trying to throw these bubble screens and they're getting swallowed at the line every time, stop trying the bubble screens, Sean. Okay? It's not going to work. Adjust.
Yeah.
Avoid the hubris. That's because that will be an absolute key against Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers. because they will make adjustments. And when they make adjustments, they can hurt us.
Sean Payton.
So there's that. And as far as offensively goes, I already talked about, running the game and running the ball and controlling the clock. And I do apologize, guys. Like I said, I'm a little bit foggy headed right at the moment because I am on these ridiculous, insane painkillers at the moment. So my thoughts are not as articulate as I think I'm used to having. But either way, offensively, keep the ball, keep the bone on the ground and keep running that clock. We want to control that clock. Defensively, you already said it. You talked about their offensive weapons. It's going to come down to defensive playmakers, in the secondary. Like you said, Jay, they'll run it a lot. Josh Jacobs will run a lot, but then they'll go for some chunk yardage in passing. It'll be up to Pat Surtain. It will be up to Riley Moss. And Riley Moss has been practicing with boxing gloves on his hands to get used to not committing these. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, you can't grab somebody with boxing gloves. He's been practicing that way because he wants to not be committing these PIs and be the brunt of every joke over those. So it'll be up to those guys to absolutely, meet their guys and play to the level of those wide receivers. Well,
and if Riley Moss gets tangled, if Riley Moss gets tangled up, slip an uppercut under there, Oh no, Christian Watson's dazed. Down goes Frazier.
Jalen Reed is super good as well. Like they do have a lot of weapons, but thankfully, again, their strength is something, counteracting a huge strength for us. Like we have amazing depth in the secondary. We have, the cornerbacks to match up with this team. And honestly, most teams don't. Most teams don't have 4 cornerbacks that you're very confident in. You put Cad on one of them.
Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, Jahdae Barron. We have a stable full of guys.
Jaquan McMillan, Pat Surtain, Riley Moss. I mean, you got our depth at cornerback is insane.
Yep.
It is an embarrassment of riches. And that will, I believe that will come into play today. In a big way. So, got some more comments here. We were joined for a moment by our friend Mike Carmelini, who reposted us on Twitter. We appreciate you, Mike.
Thank you for putting the vibes out, Mike.
That's right. We love Mike Carmelini on Orange and Blue Network. Great friend of the network. Mile High Medlock coming in, ready for the Bronco beatdown. We got D-Rock. Sup, fellas? The R&R is hitting. Cheers. Ooh. R&R being D-Rock's race relations drink.
On a cold day. Black and white cookie. Let's go.
Yeah. It's white and dark liquor. Oh, woo-wee.
There you go. Yin and yang.
Tim Dog saying, we got this. Shai Vargas reminding us that the Bills have just gone back up on the Patriots again.
Oh, man.
Up by 4.
They're up by 4 with about 5 minutes left.
Baltimore's kicking the snot out of Cincinnati. That's surprising.
Yes, they are.
It's very surprising to me.
Okay, so let's talk implications. The Broncos clinch with a win today.
Yep.
If we get this win, we clinch playoff berth. No more having to worry about, not that we are, but no more having to even think about, are we making the playoffs? We will be in. That's huge implications on this game. How are you feeling about our current position now? We're sitting tied with the New England Patriots for the best record. We just have the tiebreaker. So currently we have this tiebreaker. We have the number 1 seed in our lap. However, if they leapfrog us, we lose that number 1 seed. So how important is this win for the Broncos today?
Oh, it's tremendously important. And it's just as important that Buffalo beats New England to help us out, to give us, a 1-game cushion, in case we do drop one of the next 4 games. Again, we're playing the Packers, who, statistically speaking, both the Broncos and the Packers are almost identical as far as stats go. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
talking just a couple yards difference in most categories.
Yep.
You know, then you know, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then we have the Chiefs on Christmas. So, and then we end the season with the Chargers. Now, again, am I worried about the Chargers? No. Am I worried about the Jags? Not really. Am I worried about the Chiefs? Meh, only because they're playing in Kansas City. So this game is pivotal in order for Denver to keep that number 1 seed in the AFC and get that home field advantage for the playoffs.
I hear you. And I think I'm more than the number 1, more than the home field advantage. I want the bye. Like, I want that first round bye. That's what's got me licking my chops, you know, like salivating, is the idea, the possibility of the Denver Broncos being able to go into the playoffs, and instead of having to play 3 games, you know, to get us to back to San Francisco, only having to play 2 of them.
It's a win. You know, you can lock yourself into a guaranteed playoff win. No, it's not official, but kind of looks that way when you get a bye.
Yeah. So
that's important. It
very
much is.
It is. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little more concerned than I think other people are about Jacksonville next week. Like, Jacksonville has been firing on all cylinders, and that's a conference opponent. Yeah. So I'm a little more worried about them than a lot of people are. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, suddenly he looks like rookie Trevor Lawrence again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little scary. So,
yeah, but I feel like the Jaguars are kind of like the Chargers. Like, they always find a way to screw it up in the end. Because they've looked good in previous years. And they always wind up screwing it up in the end.
Quick score update. The Chargers are up 16-13 over the Chiefs.
Let's go San Diego, or whatever, Los Angeles.
I can't root for either one because Mr. Bolin made it law. You don't ever root for a divisional opponent.
When it's against the Chiefs, yes, we can.
I told my dad that I wanted a tie. I was hoping for a tie in that game.
Well, I mean, you know, the Chiefs are only down by a field goal. They could tie it.
I mean, I don't know. This would be a huge. I know we're really focused on the number 1 seed, and like understandably so, for all the reasons we're talking about, as far as having a bye and how advantageous that is. But I still also really look at it to the point where if somehow Kansas City can get this W and can knock the Chargers down a game, I want to get to a position in the regular season where that last game against the Chargers for us doesn't matter. Like the division's not on the line, playoff seeding's not on the line compared to us, because they already have the head-to-head victory right now, at least. So that's the one team that I just don't have good vibes against when we play them. I'm confident in the Broncos and the style of football we're playing getting into the playoffs and everything, but I don't want the Charger game to matter at the very last, game of the regular season. So
absolutely.
This is a crucial game to get a W in to kind of set ourselves up to get to that point in the season in the schedule. Got to have a W.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, and here's the thing. Then knocking on wood. I'm still going to paint that target right here. Knocking on the wood. Even if we lose this game, we are still in the hunt for that number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And our, I mean, I think our chances of making the playoffs still remain at 99%. Even with this loss, even if we lose to Green Bay today, it's just I'd rather clinch now. I would rather clinch now because remember last season we were marching in the final weeks of the season like if the Broncos win today they clinch. Oh, we lost. Okay, next week if the Broncos win today we clinch. Not again. Okay, if the Broncos win today we clinch. Finally, we did it. That the heart palpitations during that entire time were just, I don't want that. Like you said, Jay, I don't want it coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
I'd rather let's go get it done today. Let's go clinch those playoffs today. And then it's one less thing we have to think about. Have to worry about any of that, right? So that's where I'm at with that. D-Rock comes in saying, fellas, Dire query. If we win today, will big sports media finally give us our GD respect, or will they continue to move the goalpost? Well, we're never going to get our respect, bro.
Yeah.
They're always going to move the goalposts on us. Always. It's just how it is as a Broncos fan.
Yep. I was going to say, Green Bay doesn't necessarily move the needle as far as like a huge, quality W as well in a national media perspective. So it's not like this game's really going to sway a whole lot in that department, I don't think. We got to wait till the Christmas day in Kansas City that people's eyes will at least be on that game. No one's really watching this game nationally.
Agreed. So we'll see, I guess, right? But it is a big game for us and for the Packers. With heavy implications on both sides. And both teams are going to be fighting for their lives. I do believe that Broncos country is going to play a big factor in this one. That stadium, it's going to be raucous. It is going to be loud. And
got our boy George there representing the network.
That's right. And Libre and
Libre, obviously, very much so. Yeah, dude. It's gonna be a rocking house today. And it's supposed to be like beautiful. I heard it was supposed to be like 60 degrees at kickoff. How crazy is that? Like they're having like a midsummer day.
Given the fact that it's like 20 degrees here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm in the singles.
We're sub 20. We're sub 20 here, which I mean in Tennessee, Jay, that is cold.
Denver's living the life right now.
Cold here.
Dave Glassman coming in saying Pats are gonna lose after being down 21-0.
Good for them.
Yeah.
They deserve it all. Dude, Drake May has an absolute punchable face. Hot take here. A
punchable face.
He's going to be our, go-to rival, I feel like, for a long time. It's going to be a Drake May versus Bo Nix AFC showdown here for the next, 5
Peyton versus Brady,
Yeah. We got it back. New England.
Can I point something out? Yeah. Drake May wears number 10. Jordan Loves wears number 10. Bo Nix wears number 10. How interesting.
Yep.
It is interesting that half of the 6 quarterbacks taken in that first round of that draft class, and 3 of them wear the same number. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But all right, guys. Well, I think it's time to get in some food. I'm hungry. You hungry?
Ooh. What's cooking, Johnny?
Oh, I don't know. We'll talk about it. All right, this is the Mile High Menu. I know. And by the way, all of those videos very soon are going to be getting a revitalization. New segment videos. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But they are all going to get revitalized and renewed, and get some new vibes going with our segment videos. But this is the Mile High Menu. We're just going to talk about what are you eating for game day today. So, Jay, what's cooking, cuz?
Dude, I had 8 o'clock hockey practice for Henry, so I did a crock pot meal that has just been sitting in there all day long. And so I've got some cabbage stew, but it's Cajun cabbage stew. So it's got some shrimp, it's got some, your typical carrots and potatoes, and some sausage sliced, obviously cabbage, but it's going to be some good stuff, man. I'm excited to tear into that. Right around halftime, it'll be good to go. So that's what's on the menu.
All right. What about you, Rob? What are you eating today?
Well, I'm not going to be able to eat anything until after the game since we have, going from one show to the next and so forth and so on. But I'm going to be having leftover smoked barbecue ribs that my brother made, and I'm going to have some sweet potato tater tots with it. So, yeah, that's what I'm having. Simple, easy, leftover, all good.
All right.
Terrific.
Well, usually I've got some big elaborate meal that I have prepared. Where I even talk to you guys about my process and the ingredients and all that. I'm in a wheelchair right now. Cooking is not my friend. So I've got a big old can of Chunky in the pantry that's got my name on it. I'm gonna have a big old can of Chunky chicken tortilla soup.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna toss some little crunchy tortilla strips on top of that.
Ooh.
And then after that, I'm gonna, I'm doing this during halftime, but I might munch on a little bit of chips and jalapeno popper dip. So it'll be a little something.
And boys, we got to thank Buffalo because the Patriots are going to lose 35-31. Let's go, Buffalo. Thank you.
Yeah, they were just a second ago. They were 3rd and 3. They pushed across the line, got the first down. They're wasting the clock, and now Josh Allen putting down the knee, dropping the gauntlet.
That's pretty terrific.
I love it. Let's see. Continuing with Mile High Menu here, D-Rock coming in saying he's having a roasted Cornish hen with candied yams, roasted potatoes, and cornbread.
Dang, dude. That's last meal kind of stuff.
That's fancy as hell.
Yeah.
Dude, I read cornbread, and I hear that dude in the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Give me your cornbread. They got cornbread. I don't want that cornbread. I want your cornbread.
When I read roasted Cornish hen, I kind of feel like D-Rock is British right now because I can think of that, food thing being a, fancy pinkies up type of event.
Yeah, that sounds delicious, man. I'm feeling that meal right there. Dave Glassman saying my wife is making her version of homemade zuppa Toscana, an Olive Garden soup. That is my favorite soup at Olive Garden, and I am so jealous.
That's a full glass comment right there, Dave.
That definitely is. Tim Dog coming in saying tamales, green chili, rice and beans.
Dude, green chili. Tim Dog, Colorado green chili.
Listen, I was in Colorado, a couple weeks ago, and I went to Sam's Club while I was there, and they had bulk cases of Stokes green chili in a can.
Ooh.
And granted, when you're from Colorado, Stokes is crap compared to real Colorado green chili. But when you can't find green chili with pork out here, you'll take 50 cans of Stokes green chili. All right.
Hey, all right. Boys, I'm gonna leave you to finish the rest of this show because I gotta go get ready for the bucking booth. But I appreciate you guys letting me hop on with you. And as always, Broncos country, go Broncos, and we'll see you in the bucking booth.
Yes, sir. I'll see you there, brother.
There you go, Bronco Rob.
All righty. So, Jay, I think that pretty much does it for Mile High Menu.
Yeah.
I feel like it's time to sling some cash. You feel like talking bets?
I could do that. I could sling some doll hairs around.
Some doll hairs. Guys, this is You Want to Bet. All right. Guys, this is You Want to Bet. It's very simple. We're going to go through, talk money line, talk spread, talk over and under, and then we're going to make our bold predictions for the score and who wins the game, and hopefully we all come to very similar conclusions. So, Jay, you are the man who slings the cash. Would you help me out here and give us the rundown that on Vegas?
So I foreshadowed this because, Vegas is a, opponent today because it is disrespectful. We are dogs at home. But right now the line is 1.5 that we are not favored, obviously, to. So Packers favored by 1.5, and over and under is at 42, which is pretty high. So there's going to be some scoring in this game. We've got some potential, offensive explosions, which I'm all about. And it kind of checks out, I think, for Green Bay for sure. So that's kind of interesting in and itself. There's a lot of props out there. We don't normally talk tons about props and whatnot. But there's a couple props that for anyone out there that, has your favorite betting app, you just open that buck up and you want to just make a quick buck. I have a feeling that the total completions for Jordan Love being set at 20.5 is there for the picking. I feel like the playbook against our defense, because we have such great pressure against the quarterback, is to get really quick passes out and kind of, what Washington did to us, Marcus Mariota. So I feel like Green Bay, for what they will do in the passing game, will be very quick, and they will try and get the ball out of Jordan Love's hands quite a bit. Plus, I just kind of feel like that's a good line in and itself. That's a plus 100 for me, at least. I don't know what it would be for you, but the only other notable thing I will say from a prop standpoint, it does have Bo Nix for 15.5 rushing yards. And me personally, Johnny, nothing would put a bigger smile on my face than for Bo Nix to suddenly become the mobile quarterback we all know he can be, the vanilla Nix. I want to see some running out of Bo today. So that I would hammer some money on as well. 15 yards? Come on.
Come on. No, he's going to have to run today.
I would think.
He's going to have to. It's just something that this game will not go the way we want it to if Bo doesn't use his legs a bit.
He can run for 20 in one play. Crush that just in one play. So I ain't scared about 15.5 rushing yards out of Bo.
That's a good that's a good prop bet.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe do a little, prop or a little parlay, do both of them at the same time. Get some good odds. So Johnny, what do you think about the over under 42? Is that high? Do you think?
I do. I think it's high.
Yeah.
Before I give mine, real quick, Dave Glassman points out to us, Mahomes went down with a knee injury. Looked like a hyperextension.
Oh dear. So my buddy just texted me and just said ... torn, and he's a Chief season ticket holder. I had no idea what it was referenced to, but
talk about your buddy Tyler there.
No, Cameron. My buddy Cameron.
Yeah.
But yeah, ... torn, and he's in the know a lot in Kansas City. That's terrifying.
Gardner Minshew's in with 27 seconds left in the game, 1st and 10.
Wow.
But yeah, Mahomes is out right now.
That's crazy.
That could have this has not been the Chiefs season at all.
No, that would be right on brand for them this year if Mahomes is done for the year. Crazy.
We got another one, a new name, I believe I've never seen before. Joe Mama saying pack our back. Well, we will be happy
to
welcome the pack, Joe, and then send him packing.
Yep. In the words of the great Michael Malone, you can take that L on the way out.
That's right. All right. So, you asked me about the over under 42.5. Yeah, that feels high to me.
Yep.
Both these defenses, I think, are going to keep the offenses pretty honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'd go that high. So what I'm going to do, I'm taking the under.
Ooh.
I do take the Broncos to win, so they cover. And I'm going to say Broncos 21. Packers. No, I'm going to say Broncos 24. Broncos 24. Packers 17.
Okay. Interesting.
Actually, does that take me over? No, it takes me to 42.
Just barely right on,
right at
so you're
42.
flat. It's
Yeah.
a push.
So I'm like right there. I'm right there. Like
Interesting.
I'm just shy of that over under.
So you're right with Vegas. I mean, right about on. I don't know, man. These are two really good offenses, I feel like. And I guess I say it loosely for the Broncos as a good offense because we've seen a great offense out of us. And we've seen dormant, just kind of, nothingness out of our offense. That hasn't been consistent. We don't know what offense we're going to get today. The offensive line injuries, and I don't trust Sean Payton to keep doing what has been successful. And like we saw great success out of running the ball last week. And we saw like the efficiency out of Bo. And like we all noted after the game last week, like, oh, this is the kind of football we need to keep playing as we get into winter, as we get into bad weather, run the ball and just be efficient.
Chargers just picked Gardner Minshew with 14 seconds on the clock.
Dang, so that's over. Chiefs season is over. They're out.
Yep.
Officially
that's
out.
It. That will mathematically eliminate them from the playoffs.
Wow. Let's take a second to just let that soak in. It has been a long run for that Kansas City Chief team. They have been insanely dominant. So that's nuts, man. But going back to my prediction real quick, I got Broncos losing this game. I'm still sticking to it. I have the Green Bay Packers putting some points up. And I think, unfortunately, Bronco Rob foreshadowed the turnover battle. I think we lose that today. I think Bo gets a little tested. So I have a couple interceptions for Bo, if not just maybe one, but some turnovers from the offense that just look a little choppy. So I've got 21-14. Low scoring game. I got the unders. I got this being a pretty, low touted thing. So
I hope I hope that I can rub it in your face that you're wrong on the post game.
I will gladly be wrong. Gladly.
All right, guys, we have one last thing to get to because we got to get hyped up. And that means that it's time for us to join our man, our boy, our buddy, Shy Vargas, to get shite.
All right, Broncos country. Today is going to be a great day. We're going to beat them Green Bay Packers. We're going to show up. I don't give a care about these Packers. We're going to buck them off what we did to the Raiders last weekend. We're going to clinch our playoff spot. You know what time it is. Buck them too. We're going to buck them, buck them, buck them. Let's go. You know this logo, you know. You get this Broncos, you know the vibe. Buck them cheeseheads. Innovate this Bronco house? No. Buck them Green Bay Packers. We're going to show up tomorrow. We're going to clinch that playoff spot. We're going to be in the playoffs. Playoffs? Super Bowl? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Shy Vargas, with all the hype. I'm feeling good and hyped now. It's time to get out of here, guys, because we're going to kick off in less than 8 minutes. So, guys, thank you for joining us on the Get Bucked Game Day show here on the Orange and Blue Network. If you didn't already, make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Find us on YouTube and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell. Thank you, Crew Talk Sports. Make sure you ring that little notification bell so you don't miss any of our awesome content. We have shows all week long. You don't want to miss any of them. Make sure that when you sub, that your profile is set to public because your name will be entered into the drawing for the Bo Nix jersey. Also, follow us on X, on Facebook, and find the audio version of all of our podcasts on all your favorite platforms. Guys, this has been an absolute blast with you, and I can't wait to share the game. I'll be right back with you here in a moment in the Bucking Booth Game Time show. And I don't know, is there any final thoughts from you, Jay, before we bounce?
Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. Kansas City's done. Dynasty is over. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. A lot of things have already happened the right way for us today. Now it's time for us. Now it's time for us to go and do what we got to do to secure our own destiny. Let's go, Broncos. Beat the Packers and Green Bay Packers. It is time for you to get bucked. That's right. We're out of here. We'll see you on the Game Time Show.